Mimicry if you're feeling professional, and welcome to the YouTube video. Now today we're going to be talking about the launch and first week experience of Dragonflight. At the outset, I want to tell you, this is not a review of the expansion. The expansion is far too new for anybody to say, is it going to be a good expansion? Is it going to be a bad expansion? Is it going to be a mediocre expansion? We don't know. We haven't even accessed the raid yet, nor some of the primary systems, your Mythic Plus and anything else that's going on. So this is just going to be about the launch experience and the pre-season to see where we stand as kind of a baseline in reference to Shadowlands. Without further ado, let's get started. So, it makes sense to start at the beginning. The actual launch day, right? Monday, 6 p.m. What happened? Well, I was waiting at the blimp. I had to play blimp roulette. I only had to play twice because luckily I was able to get on, so it's not a big deal. But some people, friends in Area 52 and Illidan, and other servers couldn't log on for hours or couldn't stay on or were DC'd. I had guildies that tried to go into the Anaran Plains and were instantly DC'd, so the first night I spent basically doing everything I could in the Waking Shores that I wanted to. Fine, not a problem. Next night, I spent 17 hours, or not 17 hours, I think somewhere around like 12, getting to 70, which was fun. I enjoyed the quest line. I enjoyed everything great. I especially enjoyed the alternate timelines. I'm not going to say anything more than that, as it's part of a quest. You'll enjoy it, though. There is an item I have in my bank that is never leaving my bank because it's a wonderful little in-joke. So I recommend that. You'll notice that as I'm talking, I'm doing some of the dragon riding. Not flying, dragon riding. Dragonflight, dragon riding, flying, all this stuff. I get tongue twisted later, but I went and got all 42 of the dragon glyphs. The best part about this system is not only was it easy and intuitive and not really hard to do, but it's done. Unless they add more stuff to extra things, but I can now feel like I feel now spoiled. Like I don't actually want to go back on a regular mount just because of the fact that this moves so much faster. And with all the upgrades, it's nothing. I thought I would hate this. I genuinely thought I would hate dragon riding. I was like, just give me regular flying. I just want to fly, but this... And I think what does it is, it's the extra speed. I don't really care about the intuitiveness, but the extra speed, oh man. I'm going basically more than twice the speed of my old mount. It feels great. It feels great. So, yeah. I'll take that. Now, as for leveling the Waking Shores, I enjoyed a lot. I actually really want to highlight the Bright quest line, or I guess a couple of quests. That was really nice to see at the Ruby Life Pools. Representation always matters, and while I'm not a member of that particular community, it is always nice to see it. And if the gamers are going to be upset, okay, well, I guess, you know, whatever, they're going to be upset about almost anything, so just do what you do, and they'll still probably keep playing, because everybody talking about it on WoW Twitter is still playing. So, that's that. I guess, you know, don't worry about what people are going to do if you still get that $15 a month. Normally I would say listen to the players, but sometimes the players have bad takes. And we've seen a lot. If you want to see a lot of bad takes, you can always check out the general forums of WoW. So we move on to the Anaran Plains. You know, I did the Taivan quest line, and that touched my heart. I was like, oh, because I was really worried. Like, all the quest lines in this particular zone, in this area, right? Like the Dragon Isles, seem to be as if they let the devs and the writers have a little bit more creative freedom. They're not so formulaic. And I think that will make stronger quest lines. I liked going through the Noka Defensive and saving somebody's ancestors from necromancy. That was really cool. I liked the fact that we got to see an echo of Sindragosa. Like, and then Kaligos is like, oh my god, that's Sindragosa. And it's just, yeah. And it's fantastic. Because we only know her as a raid boss in ICC. So to have her character be used, because she obviously existed before, and then she was an ancient dragon. To have her character be used in such a way, I think, is wise. And then, of course, we come to Thaldraszus, right? With the capital of Valdrakken. I love that capital city, especially because it feels grandiose, as if everything was designed for dragons, Drakenkin, Drakthir, whatever else they want to call themselves. It feels like it was designed for that. So I'll tell you, I think that so far the first week experience was overall, we'll say like an 8 out of 10, right? I can't give it any higher than an 8 because of the launch issues. I had friends who couldn't play, you know, and that's fine. And at the university I'm at, 80 is a C. Right? That's a C. And I think that's fair because you can have the greatest launch experience in the world, but if you can't play, well, what does that mean? Not a whole lot, to be honest. So let's get down, as we land into Ishkara, right, there's one of these things here. This guy, this big Canuck, has one of the greatest animations in World of Warcraft. I wonder if I can get it to show. While we're here, let's bring up something here. I like the Renown system, right? I like the Renown system because it expands the Covenant Renown and allows you to have a constant flow of tasks, which again, from Blizzard's perspective, keeps you logged in. That's fine. Okay. Do I think it could be a little less, you know, 2,000 instead of 2,500? Whatever. Ultimately, I'll get it done regardless. It's fine. I mean, the Mark Centaur are rank 10, and I took a day off from playing after grinding my herbalism to 100, picking herbs, and then not being able to experiment with the alchemy table. I was like, I'm just gonna take a break. It's fine. Because by then I'd already ran all the Mythic Zeros, which we'll talk about a little later. But I like this because I can click on this and I can see, oh, do I really want to target something? Because I can get really cool little things, account unlocks, all these other things, and this is the part that I really like. The account unlock, the fact that very little effort is wasted. And if I go to my, if I click back here, right, get out of that, and I click back here, and I go to the Mark Centaur, we'll go to 10, right, Word of a Worthy Ally. Your standing with the Mark Centaur allows your other characters on this count to gain 100% additional reputation with the Mark Centaur while the Renown is below rank 10. And there's a Word of Worthy Ally 2 at rank 20. So we go up to rank 20. Boop, boop, boop. There it is. Let's see. Here we are. So your standing with the Mark Centaur allows your other characters on this count to gain 100% additional reputation with the Mark Centaur while the reputation is below rank 20, and 200% if below rank 10. So that makes those, your catch-up stuff, fantastic. Plus, they also have all of the account unlocks that are happening, and every faction has that, right? As far as I haven't checked. I should probably look. You know, here, look at me being dumb. Yep, okay, so yeah, every faction has that. Ooh, boy, I almost look stupid. I mean, luckily I'm on Twitch at twitch.tv/Mimicry, which you can find me every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Looking stupid, apparently. Good plug. Seamless plug. Ooh, pulled that off. But the Renown system shows me, oh, what do I want to target? Do I want to get this? Do I want to get to this? Do I want to have some fun with the Dragon Scale? Do I want to enjoy other things? And I like that. The fact that I can continue to work on it. Plus, it gives you something to do. And I'm sure at some point they're going to up the Renown cap in, I don't know, let's say the next patch, right? Because it's going to be, I bet there are people who are close to being, you know, who are pretty high on the Renown scales. Me, personally, I've been taking it kind of easy, relaxing, because I had finals this past week. I did get an A, which makes me happy, but I don't necessarily want to rush to max. I have friends that are already maxed, like the Cobalt and the Rathian, and they just joined farm groups to get it done. And there were some exploits around that earlier. Hopefully Blizzard doesn't take any action against the people who are exploiting, because I'm sure that they're just trying to get the best gear they can, and they didn't really do anything. There was a fast respawn timer on a rare that really helped you juice reputation gains, but that was gone within an hour. So, you know, should somebody have to face a ban or penalties over that? I don't know. I'm not in charge of discipline, and quite frankly, I'm glad I'm not. I didn't engage in the exploit because, quite frankly, I was leveling at the time. I was just like, oh, I can't do this. Like, I'm busy leveling my herbs. Since we decided to talk about herbs, let's talk about professions, right? Professions, by and large, I appreciate how let's say ambitious, right? Let's say how ambitious they were. So let's touch down here. And we go to what we see. So as you can see, I'm an alchemist, herbalist, pretty standard. You know, we got our cooking and our fishing, and I've started leveling some of those. I've maxed out my herbalism, working on my alchemy, but as I said, the alchemy had some problems with experimentation. This was disabled. I don't know if it's re-enabled. It's been a couple of days. It should hopefully be re-enabled, but I digress. The way you discover potions is through experimentation. I think that's kind of a cool little flavor thing. This does seem to be a little esoteric, a little arcane, a little overcomplicated, right? Skill, great, and inspiration. Ooh, you can craft bonus, resourcefulness. I mean, that's cool. And then crafting speed, I don't care. Like that stat could go away, and I just like, oh, this is just how long it takes. It just and okay, maybe that's because I don't do massive crafting stuff. I'll make a few things here and there, and we're fine. But that doesn't bother me. I like the tiers of quality. You know, I like the tiers of quality, so that's not too bad. You can always have chances to level up again, go from 1 to 2 to 3, and I think eventually they'll be like, oh, you can get a 4, no problem. Here's where something's really cool. We go to our specializations, right? Your specializations allow you to slowly become better at what you're doing. And if we go back to Valdrakken, which I think we'll do now, let's go back to Valdrakken, you can talk to the Brights, I believe Thomas Bright specifically, and he will tell you that it is indeed possible to master every part of your crafting. With enough work and enough knowledge gained, you can actually max out all of those bars. He says that. He also does say that it's going to take a lot of work, and that most people are content with doing 1 or 2, and that's fine. But let's go over here. Anyways, we were talking though about alchemy and specializations. I got sidetracked on that. I like this idea that the potion mastery, right? So we click on the potion mastery. We see, you know, non-combat potions last longer. Inspiration, so I get more. I have a higher chance to create better quality potions. I can learn a sub-specialization. Reclaiming potions grants additional alchemical solutions, so now I can make things more efficiently. Another sub-specialization. I have +5 resourcefulness, so now I have a higher chance to not use as many resources, which could let me make more potions on over a long time span. Maybe not initially, but over a long time span. And then, of course, here I can use the catalyst finishing reagents, recipes, and the alchemist stone, which sounds cool. I'd like to be able to make alchemy trinkets, so I'm looking forward to getting that. I can't wait. And then we have, you can get all 3, you can eventually get all 3 masteries, but you start with 1, then 1 at 50, and then 1 at 100. I chose potion first, then file, mastery. Going back, I probably would have done file mastery first, but eventually it doesn't matter since I can get all 3 of them. It's fine. And I can go there, and each one has their crafting stuff. So if we go over this, we see, you know, there's the potion mastery, improve at crafting potions, and related alchemist stones, gaining 1 skill point, +1 skill per point in this specialization. So I'm about to gain 30. I'm getting 25 points there. That's pretty dope. And then you get your frost, so I can make better things there. And I wonder if I don't know if that actually stacks with potion mastery. It would make sense that it stacks because you have to get to at least 10 to learn a sub-specialization. And then hopefully these stack here with potion lore, delve further. And if all of this stuff stacks, I mean, you can create some really monstrous potions, and I see what they're doing. And every profession is like this. Every profession is iterative. It builds on itself. And I think this is a clever thing. As for the knowledge system, is a little stingy. I don't know. You know, it's not. I don't really know what to tell you about that. Do I think it's a little stingy? Well, time will tell. If in the next couple of weeks I don't have some of these maxed out, and I play semi-regularly, I mean, you know, a couple hours a day, and that's for me semi-regularly. You know, if I'm no-lifing this, I took time off this week, and I think, what's my /played right now? Let's take a look here. Let's go /played. So at this level, 1 day, 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 42 seconds. So that's at 70. That's not including the time I took to level. So I will say if then we might have a problem. Maybe we need to up the speed a little bit because people are going to be grinding and trying to get this out. Also, while I don't play the auction house, I want people to be able to sell things and get to the most efficient ways possible so they can start making their money and getting things done, because it seems like the raw gold generation has been nerfed. You'll notice that there are, when I click on this, alright, let's go to the map, there are no callings, right? There's no callings. That used to be callings. There's no daily callings. There were daily callings the last 2 expansions. 3 expansions, actually, when I think about it. Yeah. Legion, Battle for Azeroth, and Shadowlands. There are no daily callings, which means and I did the weekly. The weekly gave me about 3,000 gold, maybe a little bit more. So and it was called Aiding the Accord. You get that at 70, and you just, instead of doing anything else, you just have to gain some rep. It was 4,000 rep. It was pretty easy. You're telling me there's a quest for me to rep grind? I'm there personally. But I also have over 100 reps exalted. It was before Dragon Isles. So I'm a fan of that. As we go, and we can talk about herbalism here. Herbalism, of course, same thing. Bountiful harvests here. Improve your general harvest skill, gain 1 skill point per specialization, which is nice. And then, of course, you can specialize a little better. I will say that Writhe Bark seems to be the hardest one to find. I don't find a whole lot of Writhe Bark. Maybe I'm farming in the wrong areas, but that seems to be the hardest one to find. Oh, and I can unlock Mastering Elements. Might as well do that while we're here. And I've unlocked the final specialization. So, because my herbalism is 100, technically it's treated as 106 because of my profession gear. I now have all that. And you can look here. You can look at the herbalism and see. Oh, okay. Here's everything that increases stuff. And I can't wait to get this ability to refine herbs, because look at this right here. So I can refine to the 2nd grade. I can't wait to refine to the 3rd, because then once we have higher quality ingredients starting, we can create better potions easier. And with me being able to refine herbs, that's why I went this way, is that if any of my guildies have low-level herbs, I can be like, look, I can refine them as you want. It's a 5-to-1 ratio, so let me know, but I can refine them and give them back to you. It's not a big deal. Professions, again, very ambitious. Not necessarily... I'm not going to say it's perfect, but I appreciate the effort they put in. That's what I want to get across here. And of course, the profession equipment, I just bought some on the AH, got it done real quick, not a big deal. I'll eventually get some more later, but for now, that works for me. So we've talked about professions, we've talked about leveling, we've talked about the zones. Let's talk about Mythic 0. Now, as I say that, something in trade services pops up saying they want to sell Mythic 0 in DF World Tour, personal loot, whisper for information, gold only, team ready now. I'm not going to say that was so. People are trying to sell the Mythic Zeros. Don't buy them. Don't buy them. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because here's the thing, you can run the Mythic dungeons more than once. You can only get loot once, though. And if the loot was going to go to you, no piece will drop. I did all 8 Mythic Zeros, and I got 5 pieces of gear. We're sitting at 358, which honestly isn't too bad. There are worse places. A couple of those things have sockets, so that's pretty cool. I've got 2 372 rings, so that's not too bad. I've got a 372 trinket. I've got a 372 neck, a 372 cloak, a 372 wrist, 372 hands. So, it's not too bad. And then, lights... What is this? 363 staff. So, I haven't ran any heroics. If I ran some heroics, I might be able to get some extra stuff, but... I'm not worried about it. That gear... When Mythic Plus drops, we're gonna get so much gear so fast that it doesn't matter. I'm gonna run the Mythic Zeros next week and go from there. I will say that running the Mythic Zeros as a priest, let me tell you guys something. Remember, we don't all have crazy mobility, right? I'm a priest. I don't have wings. I can't fly. I don't have a leap. I don't have anything. I have... Oh, no, that's wrong. That's wrong. I have feather, which I don't really like to talent into because it's another button that I don't want to have to use. And I have shield. 40% for, I think, 3 seconds. So I don't have... Yeah, I don't have any movement speed. So if you're running just crazy rampant ahead, right? You don't give me a speed boost, I'm lagging behind. And it's not because I want to be back there, it's because I'm a priest. And I don't have any movement speed. I have so many cool tricks. I can dispel diseases and magic. Can't do curses. I can do a group dispel. I can heal ya. I can throw some big heals. I can increase the amount of healing you take. I can do so many cool things. I can't do movement speeds. And that's something that people, I think, in M0s this week were thinking we were still in Shadowlands Season 4. Like, I don't have a lot of utility, at least movement-wise. Some of the fights, I think, were really need a little bit more visual tells. I'm thinking the last fight in Ruby Life Pools, I just couldn't tell where the wind was, but maybe it's because, again, first time doing it. Okay, it's entirely possible. I'm sure by another couple of runs, I'll be able to do that fight without any problems. But that's something there. And, of course, keep in mind that your profession skills actually will matter at some point, because I know there was Halls of Infusion. There's a boss that gives you poison stacks, I think. Let me pull him up here real quick. Go to Dungeons, Halls... What the... That's Mythic Plus. Here we go. Halls of Infusion. Gulping Goliath, right? Gulping Goliath gives 10 stacks. 10 application kills you. There, if you are an herbalist with at least rank 25, there are mushrooms you can use before you fight him that last for 30 minutes, and every second, or every 5 seconds, it removes a debuff. So you can literally help tank that. Also, that poison is dispellable. So since that poison is dispellable, you can help out a little bit, because when he eats you, he gives you like 3 stacks. And when he hits you, he'll give you like another stack. So you gotta be careful with that. But this is... I made a video a long time ago about how professions should do something other than just fill a bar and be on your character sheet. It's one of the reasons why I think Court of Stars is one of the best dungeons in the game, because your professions, your race, your class actually matter. As a paladin, I could go over and cleanse that grimoire, and now, bam, we get like 5% damage reduction. Or as an herbalist, I could pick up that Starlight Brew, and now we have 10% haste. Or as a Pandaren, I could do something with the food, and now we get like increased recovery, resource recovery rates, or something. I forget exactly what they all were. But the point was is that your characters, class, race, and professions mattered. In this, the fact that I can basically help trivialize a mechanic, at least in some capacity, is a good thing, and I want to see more of that. I want to see more of that. Especially because at 25, it's not like you can just swap professions, go back and forth. You have to actually do some leveling to get to 25 in this particular expansion. So I'm okay with that. I think that's a good, solid world building change. So we've gone on for a little while. Let's wrap it up with a TLDR. Dragonflight. Is it a good expansion? It is too soon to tell. Dragonflight launch. Was it a good launch? Yes. Asterisk. So what's going to happen is, we're going to talk about the first week of Mythic Plus, the first week of raiding or so, when that happens, and we'll see what my opinions are there. I did no raid testing, I avoided all of the story spoilers, and I did very little playing on the beta, because I wanted to not spoil myself on the story. Did a little testing for some bugs and things, but I didn't want to spoil myself on the story. The story, for me, fantastic. It's great. I love a lot of it, and let me know when you get that one item. You'll know what it is if you're a long-time WoW player. Let me know in the comments below if you've gotten it. It's a necklace. That'll say that should right there. It should, alarm bell should be going off for those who were there. This was a fun video to make, so thank you for hanging out with me. Now, if you like what I do, or you like what the channel does in particular, go on and hit subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with everything the channel does. Additionally, you can find me on Twitch every Friday, Saturday, Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We play a lot of World of Warcraft. We're also working through the Mass Effect Legendary Trilogy. It's fun. It was 20 pounds, or 20 bucks. 20 pounds, talking to British friends. 20 bucks on Steam, so I really enjoyed that. And finally, for those who want to parse at rank 1, there is the Patreon. It's patreon.com/Nimicry. We do a micro vlog, a behind-the-scenes look every week, and we do a few other things, and there's some other perks as well, so you can find that at patreon.com/Nimicry. I enjoyed this video, and I enjoyed the launch of Dragonflight. It's nice to be excited to play WoW again, and while this feeling may not last, I am going to enjoy it while I can. I hope you enjoy it too, and may the mount you're farming drop on the first kill.